They. Here's something else that might surprise you about how you learned. What you already know changes how fast you can learn new things. Think about it. Learning doesn't just happen in a vacuum, completely isolated from everything else, New information has to connect to old information. It's like building with Legos when you already have a foundation of knowledge in a related area. Your brain has more hooks, more connection points to hang new concepts on. This is why someone who already speaks Spanish will probably learn Italian much faster than someone who's learning their very first Romance language. So much of the vocabulary and the grammar structure overlaps, creating these convenient shortcuts. Or consider this. Someone who plays the piano will find it easier to learn music theory than someone with no musical background at all. Their existing knowledge creates a mental scaffold that new learning can easily attach to. This is a huge reason why learning often feels like it accelerates over time. It's not that you're suddenly getting smarter. It's that the more you know, the easier it becomes to know even more. You're simply giving your brain more and more connection points to work with. Every piece of knowledge you acquire becomes a potential anchor for the next one. This creates a powerful, self-reinforcing cycle. The more you learn, the faster you can learn, which in turn helps you learn even more. It's an upward spiral of knowledge acquisition, and it's a fascinating aspect of how our brains are wired. 2. And this brings us to something really important. It's not just about what you know, but how well organized that knowledge is in your mind. Well-organized prior knowledge speeds up understanding immensely. Think of your brain like a massive library. If all the books are just scattered randomly on the floor, in giant messy piles, finding the specific piece of information you need is going to take forever. You'd have to sift through everything, and it would be incredibly frustrating and inefficient. But what if that same library has its books neatly organized by subject, then alphabetized, with a clear catalog system? Suddenly, you can locate exactly what you need in seconds. The same exact principle is true for the knowledge stored in your brain. When you take the time to consciously organize what you're learning, to see how different concepts relate to each other, to build mental models and frameworks, future learning becomes dramatically faster. This is precisely why study techniques like taking detailed notes, creating summaries, or even trying to explain concepts to other people are so incredibly powerful. They don't just help you remember the information in the short term. They force you to structure and organize that information in your mind, building that clean, efficient mental library. This organization is what helps you learn faster later on. You're not just memorizing facts. You're building a network of interconnected ideas that makes your brain a more powerful learning machine. Nerd. Let's shift our focus just slightly to another crucial element. Having clear goals speeds up your learning process. When you know exactly what you're trying to achieve, your brain can direct its resources much more efficiently. It knows what to prioritize. Vague intentions like, I want to get better at drawing, don't really give your mind much to work with. It's too fuzzy. A specific goal, like, I want to be able to draw recognizable human faces from reference photos within 3 months, gives you a clear direction. Your brain immediately knows what to pay attention to, what skills to practice, and what success actually looks like. This clarity eliminates so much wasted effort. You're not just wandering around aimlessly hoping to improve. You're walking purposefully toward a specific, well-defined destination. And that focused approach makes all the difference in how quickly you progress. This idea actually extends even further. It's not enough to just have a goal. You also need to define what your target performance looks like. What does good actually mean in the context of your goal? If you want to learn public speaking, what does success look like for you? Being able to speak for 5 minutes without any notes. Is it captivating an audience of 50 people and holding their attention? Or maybe it's about handling difficult questions from the audience smoothly and confidently. When you take the time to define the specific performance you're aiming for, Your practice becomes incredibly targeted and effective. You're no longer just practicing speaking, yet actively practicing the exact skills that will get you to that defined level of performance. This level of precision is what turns practice from just random repetition into deliberate, focused skill building. Here's a liberating thought to consider, one that can take a huge weight off your shoulders. Aiming for good enough often beats striving for perfection. Perfectionism is one of the single biggest obstacles to fast learning. When you insist that everything you do must be absolutely perfect before you're willing to move forward, you slow yourself down dramatically. You get stuck in this endless loop of revising and refining, polishing something that's already pretty good, knows, when you should be progressing and learning the next thing. But when you adopt the mindset of aiming for good enough, you maintain your momentum. You keep moving forward. You learn faster because you're covering more ground. You're making more attempts, and you're getting more feedback from each of those attempts. Think of it this way. Someone who completes 10 imperfect practice sessions will almost always learn more than someone who only completes 2 perfect ones in the same amount of time. That's 5 times the experience, 5 times the feedback, 5 times the opportunity for your brain to learn and adapt. The person stuck on perfection is polishing a single stone, while the other person is building a whole wall, one good enough brick at a time. So give yourself permission to be imperfect. Embrace the good enough mentality, because it's one of the most powerful accelerators for learning you can find. It frees you up to try, to fail, to learn, and to grow at a much faster pace. Thank you so much for watching. If you found these ideas helpful, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more content on how to learn better and live smarter. See you in the next one!